I am going to do an exercise with you that I do with every single one of my classes. If you are in if you haven't done this within the first 5 minutes of a class, you are not in my class. Okay? So, somebody tell me something that has absolutely nothing to do with science. Feel free to be funny. You can say anything in the whole universe. The CTA. Awesome. Cool. Do you want to talk about the business or the actual train lines?
Actual train.
Actual train lines. Can you touch the train lines?
Yes.
Cool. Then they're made of these things. Everything made of atoms is part of the science of chemistry. So the train lines are chemistry. Can you see the train lines? Cool. Then light bounces off of it. Everything that deals with light and motion is part of the science of physics. Are the train lines alive? Yeah, I would say no, though, because they don't process energy. So, they are not biology, but I'm going to write it anyway because it's important. And then finally, did we invent train lines?
Yes.
Cool. Then they're part of the science of psychology. Everything that's ever been invented came out of someone's brains. So, markers are psychology, shirts are psychology, tables, sodium polyacrylate, microphones, paper, all psychology. Alright? Now, real quick, can you all see my face right now? That means light is bouncing off my face and punching you in the eyeballs. That is how seeing works. If you can hear my voice right now, that means my vocal cords are making a sound wave, it's going through the air and it's punching you in the eardrums. That is how it works. Now, we have the 4 main sciences on the board. This is the part that I think is so important for students because they feel like science is a class that you do in school, that adults do occasionally. Sometimes they have a lab coat, and that is so not what science is. If there's anything we're doing wrong about education, in this, probably in the whole world, it's messing up the definition of science. So, now I want to do rapid fire. Think about it. Tell me something that has nothing to do with science. We can be done with this. Science. Yeah.
Love.
Love. Awesome. Can the marker love anything?
No.
No, because it doesn't have a brain. Love is an electrical synapse of trying to hold on to something. What else? Oh, and you got to be alive to love things. You got to be made of atoms to be alive, and if you're alive, light bounces off of you.
Religion.
What else? Religion. Cool. Is the table ever going to try and figure out where the universe came from? No. It is a function of having a brain. Most likely a human brain, unless you think mosquitoes are looking for an answer to the universe. They have brains. So, what has nothing to do with science? You give up? How about cheese? Cheese is made of atoms. You can see it. It's alive. We invented it. Tricycles. Made of atoms. You can see it. We invented it. Paper, made of atoms, you can see it, comes from trees, we invented it. Schools, they're made of atoms, you can see them, we invented them, therefore living things. Now, instead of pushing you like I would my students who do this for 5 minutes, they'll get frustrated because they literally can't. This is impossible. We can stand here for 1,000,000 years and you're never going to tell me something that has nothing to do with science. Now that I've said it's impossible, are any of you feeling that itch like you want to prove me wrong and give it a shot? No? Okay, excellent. Huh?
Concept of learning.
The concept of learning?
Learning.
Learning. You gotta have a brain to store energy. You gotta be alive to have a brain.
I don't know about that.
Okay, well, totally down to debate it. Okay, so here's the deal. You see all these science words? There's no science on this board. Normally I have a box of science equipment and I say, there is no science in this box. Science is not a thing. Science is an action you do with your brain. Can I use my brain to try and figure out how a piece of paper works? Of course it can. Can I use my brain to figure out how a marker works? Of course. A light bulb, a shark, a black hole, a faraway galaxy? Is there anything in the universe I cannot try and figure out?
God.
I'm trying to figure that out too. The answer is obviously no. If I went outside and dug a mile deep hole, pulled out something humans had never seen it before, and set it right here, wouldn't you immediately look at it and try and figure it out? Yeah, you would. Everybody would, because it's a function of having a brain. Doing science is a function of having a brain. We've just given it misnames and gobbled it up with money and corporations, and now it's hard to be an advocate for science. But if we reduce the definition of science from this big thing of lab coats and professionals and turn it into, hey, you got 80 years on the planet to figure out how the entire universe works. That's called science. It's going to be a much better place and a much better education system.